on the phone or podcasting and driving, and I went and got the stats off that one. This is a man who podcasts and drives. He is on the air, literally driving and podcasting at the same time, and he excuses the noise, the background noise. He talks about everyone else have shitty sound and all that kind of crap, and he blames his shitty sound off driving and what he's doing. What he's doing in Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. This is a cab driver from the airport in the Twin Cities.
It's all bullshit.
Of course it is. And so that's why I went and pulled up the statistics. So, the statistics. What do you think the statistics are for drunk drivers? We'll start there. What percentage of accident-related deaths or fatalities? What percentage are related to alcohol? What do you think? If you were just throwing a number out there, this doesn't have to be an educated guess.
I'll say 65%.
That's a big number. What about you, Adam?
I was thinking like 40%.
Adam is closer. Let's see. We'll take a statistic from 2014. 9,967 people were killed in alcohol-impaired driving crashes, accounting for nearly one-third, which is 31% of all traffic-related deaths in the United States. So one-third, so it's 31%.
33.
No, well, this one says, 31. That's nearly one-third.
They can do math.
They can't do math on this. So that's a lot, though. That's a substantial amount of traffic-related, vehicle-related deaths contributed to alcohol. Now, if I were to throw
That's
at
a
you...
lot. What's the next one?
Distracted driving. What do you think that percentage was?
Probably about like 60-70%.
No. Adam? Brady?
Distracted driving, I would say 65%.
Well, now you're just... Everything is 65.
I'm way over.
Honorable.
I'm testing it.
2014, a report from the National Safety Council, which compiles data on injuries and fatalities from 2013 and earlier, concluded that the use of a mobile phone, or the uses of a mobile phone, caused 26% of U.S. car crashes. Just 5% of mobile phone-related accidents in the U.S. involve texting. The majority of the accidents involve drivers distracted while talking on handheld or hand-free devices on their phone. So 26%, which is nearly a third, and we have 31%.
Hands-free devices too?
It says hands-free devices. That's not texting. Only 5% of those are texting. The rest of them are talking on hands-free devices, talking on the cell phone, and that is contributes to that 26%. So 26% and 31% are not the same, but they're damn near similar, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you can say that almost 2/3 of all traffic-related accidents are contributed to both drinking and driving and using a mobile phone.
Right.
So where this guy goes off and saying that, drunk driving, everyone be safe. Okay, well, the same thing that he does on a daily basis while he transports people around, by the way. He picks up passengers and he delivers them to a location. So he has people in his car, in his vehicle. He's responsible for their lives. He's insured as a transportation vehicle, transportation service. He actually is part of the statistic where he can contribute to nearly the exact same amount of deaths as a drunk driver. Yet, he talks shit about people drinking.
Statistically speaking, yeah.
Statistically speaking.
Have you seen Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Oh, well, hold on. It's
movie?
even worse.
We'll check it
This
out.
is just people talking on their phone. He actually transports people.
Yes.
So if he were to get into an
In
accident
that movie.
while on his hands-free and podcasting, he would actually be part of that statistic nearly the same amount as people that are drunk driving. Did you know that? What were you saying, Adam?
I did not
There's
know
a guy
that.
on Don't Mess with Zohan. He's like an Arab dude. And he works for Montgomery Ward and is customer service for their mail order catalog. And then drives a taxi cab while he's working on the phone.
Yeah. This guy will podcast on the phone. He certainly he has it on air. He is on air doing pretty much the equivalent of drinking and driving. With, the flex and percentages or whatnot, but pretty much equivalent. 26 and 31, I know they're different, but they're pretty damn fucking similar. Am I incorrect?
They're close, yeah.
Pretty fucking close. So, he goes on and he starts off with that. And I just wanted to point that out to Cockpote, because he wants to talk about drinking and driving like it's a horrible thing, where your continuous podcasting while you're driving or distracted driving is very equivalent to drinking and driving. So, I should do a PSA on distracted driving. You're lucky I haven't thus far. How do you feel about that?
Write that down.
I already have it.
To talk about ideas and elaborate on things. You shouldn't be distracted.
Right, because you're pretty much a drunk driver.
I feel like if you're driving a cab, you shouldn't be distracted.
No, and does that escalate when you're angry in podcasting, or distracted on topics, or distracted on people that don't care about you?
Well, sure.
That increases your chances of an accident. Do angry drivers get into accidents, make stupid decisions?
Me as a customer, do I want to listen to you freaking talk about all your bullshit while I'm freaking catching a ride somewhere?
Right. Touché. I love this. So he likes to refer to the three dykes on the show. And who he's referring to is Gomez, which he's correct. She's not really a dyke, but she's a lesbian. Gomez is an in-the-middle lesbian. Felicia. And myself.
Both
And
in-the-middle lesbians.
Nope. Felicia, maybe. But he refers to it, and then he calls penis breath. You are the token Negro he refers to. He hasn't heard you in a long time, but you are the token Negro he refers to. I'm not sure who he refers to Brady. But, and then he talks about sometimes he'll dabble into Ray, and I think he gets things confused. The guy gets things confused quite frequently. Even when he was talking about the show last night, he got Felicia and I mixed up.
Because he's trying to do more than one thing at once.
Right? And then he goes where he accuses people of being lesbians, but then a lot of these lesbians apparently suck dick for money. Is that a natural thing?
He's got a very limited library of discards, doesn't he?
He really does. He really does. He claims, that's right, you have no listeners, and these are my notes. You probably do. He says he doesn't cook his books. I got $500 tip. I got a tip here. He's on the air. I got a tip here. I got money here. And then last night, I don't cook my books. Bitch, you probably do. And what he fails to realize is that I'm not a prostitute. I do not work on a cash basis. I own a business. And it is not a cab driving business. I do not drive vehicles all day long. And I am not a hooker. I am an actual accountant who owns an accounting firm. And I also happen to do audits for the IRS. I get assigned cases in the area for the IRS. And guess what? Minneapolis isn't that far away. But nonetheless, I'm not saying anything. And I would love to whistleblow Cockpot. Would love to whistleblow the IRS and go, hey, you might want to check this guy out. Now, I think I'm the only one that has downloaded his shows. He's probably seen that. So, I mean, all this is, he can't go and delete all that. You can't un-download that. And I would love to turn it over just to see. Like, this guy is claiming to make all this money. Here he is, broadcasting on the air that he is making all this money from his customers. And I am just curious as if he claims it on his taxes.
Gee, I wonder.
Damn.
Yeah. And once again, Calpot, I'm going to put this for you real nice and slow. Because I know that I have to speak slow. Calpot, I do audits for the Internal Revenue Service. And I would be interested in knowing if you, sir, who gives his name and location out on the air, if you are lying to the Internal Revenue Service about your income, or if you're claiming all of it. So, not to say I'd be the one on the audit. I probably couldn't because of the on-air relationship, but fuck me if I can't whistleblow or drop a bomb somewhere, because guess what? I don't cook my books because I don't have to. I'm an accountant. It's just the way I roll. You know, I'm smart. I don't stupidly spend. I don't do anything I'm not supposed to do. And I happen to own a business that runs other people's businesses. So, Calpot, try me one more time on that one, because I would love to see Jeffrey Nelson of Minneapolis, what exactly you do with your books. I'd be interested to see what kind of expenses you're claiming, and if you actually have been audited. Once again, I wouldn't be the one on the audit. In fact, I'd be taken off of it immediately because of conflict of interest. However, this would be really interesting to talk to another auditor about, because they do investigations. Moving on. The One Angry Jew. He accused us of being ran by the One Angry Jew. He says this show is ran by the One Angry Jew. I have talked to the One Angry Jew on air. Off air. I've talked to Debbie Daly on air and off air. I have talked to so many people on air and off air, and I won't mention names, but a lot of them I do. I do have these relationships, whether they're superficial or not superficial, it doesn't matter. Sure, I'm not going to lie. Is this show ran by One Angry Jew? Brady, is this show ran by One Angry Jew?
I'm pretty sure you're the one running the show.
Adam, who's One Angry Jew?
Some guy in Vegas, right?
No, nowhere close to Vegas.
Oh, I don't know then. I mean, I've heard him talk on the radio.
But apparently he runs a show. How do you feel about that?
I don't even know the guy.
Yeah, that's not
I
surprising.
speak for myself.
And,
You should tell me what to do.
I like One Angry Jew. I like Debbie Daly, sure. Fucking, I like a lot of people. I like people. I'm not sorry, Angela. I'm not too interested in you. But that's okay. We'll move on from that one. And only because of the clips I heard. Once again, with the clips I heard, Debbie Daly showed me some clips on Angela. And the shit that Angela had told her on her show, which, cut below the belt kind of shit. And I was a little put off by Angela. Political Woodstock. And I'm sorry, but until you show me some proof where she did something otherwise, that is where I remain on that subject. And if One Angry Jew, he obviously doesn't run the show, and if he did say, don't talk about cockpote, then we obviously wouldn't be doing a show on cockpote, would we?
Suck my dick, cockpote.
Suck his dick. I'm going to play that commercial one more time. It's one of my favorites now, because Adam's in it. Have you ever sat there and thought to yourself, man, I need a penis in my mouth right fucking now? Well, you're not alone. Listen to Cock Poke Podcast, and you can listen to hours and hours and hours of him rambling on about hating gay people, demeaning women, swearing, yelling, talking crazy nonsense, and he'll also tell you about his adventures and tales in cab driving. Do you like 60-plus minutes of one long sentence? Do you need to know the names, symptoms, and treatment for every incurable STD out there? He has it all. Follow Cock Poke Podcast today and get your daily dose of pure, unfiltered, unadulterated verbal diarrhea now.
Brought to you by D's Nuts.
Suck my dick, cockpoke.
So, he starts off his show with that. Then he moves on to the armed forces. Now, where the armed forces conversation started off was when he went on and he assumed we were going to talk shit about the military. I don't know where he got that. I've never brought up the military. We have a show based on comedy. Am I incorrect, Adam?
Right.
Adam, have you ever been here where we brought up a show about the military?
I mean, no.
Have we disrespected the military in any way?
I hope not. I grew up in the military.
And a lot of people here have ties to the military.
Yeah. My grandfather served. My uncle served.
My grandpa, my uncle, my mom, and my dad are all retired Air Force.
Right? And that's the way that is. Felicia was fucking pissed at this. Because we live in a town where the Air Force Base is quite close to us. And, and now, living in a town where the Air Force Base doesn't make you a supporter of the military, and I understand that, but a lot of people in this group, in the What the Fuck Network, have ties to the military, and so a lot of people got offended on what he was trying to do and what he was trying to perceive us to be. So I went off, and then he goes on and goes, oh, no, support the military, our men blow, oh my God, the military, armed forces, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Felicia brought up a good point last night. Calpo, what do you do to support the military? What exactly do you do to support the military? Do you donate to the troops? Do you go and volunteer for veterans' efforts? Do you do anything like that? No, I'm not saying I do, but he's just quite fucking ballsy there. Slamming on us but making himself seem wonderful. So my note on this one was this. If it weren't for the armed forces, and this is my shout out to the military, if it weren't for the armed forces, you wouldn't be allowed to diarrhea all over Podcast Network. If it weren't, he wouldn't be allowed to go on there instead saying faggot and hoe and dick breath and the 3 die. If it weren't for the armed forces, you wouldn't be allowed to actually be who you are. So, and I'm pretty fucking sure, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, the armed forces doesn't want your support. There is a gay population in the armed forces, and if anybody heard what the fuck you were talking about, and the way that you mouth off on the air and you broadcast yourself and the person that you are